So I was working with a new investor just the other day, and something interesting got brought up was when I said, hey, your loan term is probably going to be only about 10 to 15 years. He's like, what? It should be 30. Why wouldn't it be 30 years? And you know what? There was something that, he just quite didn't know. And to be fair, I probably should have brought this up a little bit sooner in the process. But here's one of the things that is important to know. In commercial real estate, we don't do 30-year loans. At least not for investment properties. Generally, what we do is we have what would be a balloon or a uneven term and amortization period. So what ends up happening is that the loan term may be only 10 or 15 years, but it may be amortized, meaning we're paying interest on or making the payments like it was a 20 or 25-year term. Now, obviously, at the end of that 10 or 15 years, that loan term, we start seeing a difference in what that payment would be, and we end up having a balloon at the end where you either need to refinance or you got to come out with cash and pay everything off, right? Most people don't end up doing that side of it. They end up refinancing and going from there. What complicates this even more so is that you could either have fixed rate or you got to have a variable rate interest rate. So at a fixed rate for the entire 10 or 15-year term, you are locked in at 6%. However, if you have a variable rate, just like a variable rate residential mortgage, you're going to turn around and have something that may change over time. It may be at 5%, and then next year it goes to 5.5%, and then the next year it goes back down to 4.5%. It could change pretty drastically, and that's one of the things that's important to keep in mind. If you do have a fixed or a variable rate, that needs to go into your analysis as you sit down and do your pro formas for those investment properties that you're going to purchase. Now, the key thing with this is that if you are working with an agent, that agent should be working with a great lender, and ideally both of which are a CCIM, and they can absolutely help plug you in. If they both are, we both speak the same language very much so. So we can kind of get ahead of the game and make sure that everything is there. And if they are a CCIM, you usually have somebody that has the experience to actually jump out there, have seen and done deals, and they know what to do, or they've got the resources to jump out there and ask. So yes, lending in the commercial side, vastly different than it is in the residential world when you have a single family mortgage that you're working on. Commercial lending or, investment lending on this side, vastly different, and definitely something you don't want to walk into thinking, oh yeah, I can do this on a 30-year note, because you're not going to simply find just a 30-year note.